Hi, I'm John Rotenstein. Thanks for joining me in this session on AWS community resources that can help you. You know, there's a lot to learn about AWS. In fact, there's more than one person can possibly learn themselves. So we like to say that it takes a village. And you are part of this village. You can take advantage of lots of community resources out there to achieve success. During this presentation, I'll be showing you just a few of these resources. Things like online forums, online chat areas like Stack Overflow, Reddit, video sites like YouTube and Twitch, and even attending a local user group meeting. So, let's begin. Let's start with non-interactive resources. These are resources that you can access any time of the day. The first of these is, of course, to read the documentation. There's lots of documentation out there. There's user guides, developer guides, API references, walkthroughs, tutorials. It's all out there, and it's got a wealth of knowledge. For example, I one time attended a presentation by a solutions architect, and he told me the most amazing things, and I thought, how does he know all this? Well, then I went and I read the documentation, and guess what? It was all in there. So you too can become an expert by reading the documentation. You might want to follow the advice of this fellow. This is a statue from the Brussels Town Hall, and I like to say that it's the first instance of somebody saying RTFM, or read the manual. So follow his advice and read the documentation. But perhaps rather than reading, you prefer watching. You might want to watch the documentation. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos available on the AWS channel on YouTube. For example, we have videos from our AWS reInvent conference that is held each year. The most recent conference has over 500 videos available on YouTube. And these videos are made by the product teams that made the product, or presented by customers who have hands-on experience and give valuable advice on how to use AWS services. Or you might want to watch our This Is My Architecture series. This is where customers come and present the architectures that they've implemented on AWS, provide advice about what worked and what didn't. So it's a great way to find somebody else who has been in the same situation as you. Or you might want to watch our Now Go Build series by Werner Vogels, our CTO, who goes around the world, visits customers to find out how AWS has helped their business and has helped their community. So there's an easy way to see these videos. You can go to the Amazon Web Services channel on YouTube. You can even click the subscribe button and you'll be notified when new videos come in. Perhaps rather than watching, you'd like to listen to the documentation. All of those reInvent sessions I mentioned are available online. Just do a web search for reInvent audio and you'll find this page. You can then download an audio version of each of the sessions or download the slides for each of the sessions. You can even point to your favorite podcast app and listen to it while you're doing the gardening. That's what I like to do. Listen to AWS, do the gardening, a great combination. So talking about podcasts, we also have an official AWS podcast hosted by Simon Alicia out of Melbourne, Australia. And that's a regular podcast. He interviews customers, tells you about new announcements, talks to the product team. So it's a great way to learn about AWS, perhaps on your daily commute. Okay, let's now move on to interactive resources. These are resources where you can ask a question and get some information back. The first of these is our recommendation to attend a local user group. We have hundreds of user groups all around the world. In Australia and New Zealand, there are user groups in most capital cities. There's even specialist user groups such as She Builds, which is focused on women in IT. You can find all of these user groups at meetup.com. And at a user group, it's run by the community. We do not run them. Community members run the user groups, and they have sessions of customers sharing what they've done, or vendors presenting new products, or news from reInvent, so you can stay up to date. You can also chat with other people who are using AWS, a great way to interact with the rest of the AWS community. Or online, you can visit the AWS forums. These are forums where you can ask a question and receive answers, or look up answers that people have previously given. The answers will be given either by AWS staff or by other members of the community. There's no guarantee of answers here, but often the information you want to find is available online. You can get there at forums.aws.amazon.com. If you are looking for some guaranteed response, I would recommend subscribing to AWS Support. It's available in multiple levels. The developer level is a low-priced fixed price, and you can get help by email, or you can subscribe to business level support, where you can also do phone and chat, right up through to enterprise support, which is great for business critical systems. And support is not just for helping you with a particular problem. You can also call support and say, hey, what's the best architecture for my system? Or how can I improve my system, get it running more efficiently or faster? And I always like to say that the cost of one phone call, the benefit that one phone call provides, can more than outweigh the cost of support. So it's very worthwhile subscribing to AWS Support. Or perhaps you'd like to chat to some other people on Reddit. Reddit is a great website for online discussions. There are 2 subreddits available about AWS, one about AWS in general, and one about AWS certification, which is great if you're preparing for a certification exam. So you can go on Reddit, ask a question, and you'll get responses from a lot of people and opinions from a lot of people. People on Reddit are full of opinions, and that's great because you'll get wide-ranging answers from different people. And these are people who have implemented AWS systems themselves, actual customers who have used AWS. So it's a great way to get answers to your questions. Or perhaps you'd like to watch a stream on Twitch. Now, watching a stream on Twitch is not quite like YouTube, it's interactive. We have a number of shows ranging from Internet of Things through to databases, through to certification exams. And yes, that's me. I host a show called the AWS Certification Quiz Show. And the great thing about Twitch streams is while you're watching the stream, you can also interact with the presenters via chat. And you might say, oh, can you tell me more about that? Or you might pose a question and they'll answer for you. So have a look at our schedule for Twitch, and you can not only watch the show, but you can interact with it. Or the shows often end up on YouTube afterwards. In the case of the AWS Certification Quiz Show, all of our shows are available to watch again on YouTube afterwards. Another service you could use, which is my personal favorite, is Stack Overflow. I regularly answer questions on Stack Overflow each day. And Stack Overflow is a question and answer site for programmers and for a lot of IT as well. And the idea is people can post a question and people can come and answer the questions. You may have actually done a web search and found yourself landing on Stack Overflow because it has such great information. And the way it works is that people can, first of all, pose a question. Here we can see a sample question. Somebody is asking about temporary credentials from an IAM role. They're provided a copy of their code and the error message that's appearing. And then somebody's come along and provided an answer. Actually, it was my answer, saying, here's a solution that might work for you. So it's a great way to obtain information. In fact, it's a bit like a wiki because you can go back and edit the information on there and improve it. Or it's a bit like an encyclopedia of knowledge. And every time somebody gets an answer on Stack Overflow, hundreds of other people can benefit from that answer. So it's a great place to participate on. And I also encourage you to participate. If you land on Stack Overflow and an answer has been very good for you, been very helpful, I encourage you to tick that up arrow. First of all, you'll need to register, just provide a username and password. Click that up arrow and the person who provided that answer gets reputation points, which encourages them to provide even more answers in future. If you wish, you can also submit your own question on Stack Overflow or contribute an answer. If you see a question and you know the answer, please hop on there, give your solution. It's a great way to improve the knowledge for the whole community. So these are just some of the community resources you'll find out there to help you to obtain information about AWS, whether it's an online chat forum, watching videos, or attending a local user group. So thank you very much for watching this session, and please remember to fill in your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you out there in the community. Thank you.